Moving on to the samplers, we have two samplers built in with Ableton, Simpler and Sampler. Let's look at Simpler first. As its name implies, Simpler is a simpler sampler. When you load it up, you are confronted with this black box that says drop sample here, so let's get a sample. I'm going to go to my samples, I'm going to search for a break beat, and I'm going to drag it down into the black area where it says drop sample here. There are three modes for sampler. There's the classic mode, and if I press a key, it will play the sample. If I go lower off the fundamental pitch, which that was C, if I go down to G, it plays it lower and slower. Conversely, if I go higher, it will play it higher and faster. If I go to one-shot mode, then if I press a key and let go, it will play that whole sample until I hit the key again. If I click gate, then it will only play as long as I hold the key down. Slicing mode is actually my favorite. In slicing mode, it will give you a number of slices, and if I click and zoom in here with my magnifying glass, each one of these marks is now a note on my MIDI keyboard. And I can play them at will. You can adjust the sensitivity of the slices by moving the sensitivity control. With less sensitivity, now there are fewer slices for a greater length of sound. There are a lot of sonic possibilities with slicing mode that we'll get into more in a later video. In each one of these modes, there are extra controls at the bottom of the screen here. There are envelope controls, LFO controls, and filter controls. Moving on to sampler, if I drag that same beat into sampler, you can see it looks similar but a little bit different. There are many more options and possibilities with sampler, almost an overwhelming number of options. You can see the sample here. If I click the zone button, a window opens above the plugin and you can adjust the key range for that sample. You have the option of adding an oscillator and a pitch envelope to the sample. There are filter and global parameters under the Filter Global tab, so you could add a filter. There's a modulation section that gives you 3 LFOs and an additional auxiliary envelope, and you can set the destinations to those basically anywhere you want under the destination tabs. And there's a MIDI modulation matrix right here. Sampler is a beast of a plugin and it has a lot of sonic possibilities.